In this video, we are going to talk about movement of water in the plants. How the water is going to be. We know that the roots absorb the water. Roots, they have the root hairs. So water is absorbed by the water and ions are absorbed by the roots, and they are going to be sent into the xylem. How this transportation is taken place in the plants, that we are going to discuss in this video. So here the water, we know that the water absorption by the roots is, it is a osmosis method. By absorption, they absorb water by the process of osmosis. So water movement, how the water absorption of water. There are two processes are involved. That is, one is absorption of water, and second is ascent of sap. So how the water is absorbed? Water is absorbed in the plants. So water absorption is taken place by the two pathways. One is apoplast system, and second is symplast. So these are the two methods how water is absorbed or transported through the xylem. So here what is happening? So water is absorbed by the roots, but how it is going to be transported into the inside the plant, how it reaches to the xylem, and from there how it is going to be reached to the all the parts of the plant, that we are going to discuss. So in this, how the water is transported by the two pathways. There are two pathways are there. One is apoplast system and symplast system. Apoplast system and symplast system. In this apoplast, the water moves only from the adjacent cell walls. So for that we are going to recollect once again the internal structure of the root. So we have the root outermost layer, that is epidermis. This is epidermis. This is cortex region. So this is endodermis, and this is pericycle, and this one is phloem. This is phloem, and in case of dicots we have the cambium, and this is xylem. So water is there. This is the root hair. So root hair is there, water is there. So water transported by the means of two pathways. One is apoplast and symplast. So water enters into the roots by the process of osmosis. Here by process of osmosis, water is absorbed by the roots, and this water travels through the adjacent of the cell walls. It will not cross the cell through without entering inside the cells. Only water moves to the internal spaces. The gap between the spaces are there. So cortex, we know that the cortex, it is made up of with parenchyma, where the cells are loosely arranged. It contains the intercellular spaces. So here the water is moving through the intercellular spaces, in between, but it is not crossing the cell. And when it reaches to the endodermis, we know that the endodermis cells are made up of they are suberinized cells. Here endodermis cells are suberinized, means they won't allow the impervious to water. They not allow the water. So water, it is reached up to here, but so if it want to cross, it has to cross the it has to enter the through the cells. So the water, when this type of movement of water, so in the apoplast system what is happening, so water is moving in the adjacent of the cell walls, it is moving from the intercellular spaces. Intercellular spaces, water moves through the intercellular. If water transport through the intercellular spaces are adjacent to the cell wall, that type of transportation, that type of water movement is called apoplast. It is very fast. It is very fast. In apoplast, what is happening? Water moves from the adjacent of the cell walls. If the cells are there, so there is a gap will be there between the cells. So from that gap, water is enter up to endodermis, only. So when the Symplast system, so water enters through the cell. So we know that the cells are connected. One cell is connected with the another cell. So cells are connected with the plasmodesmata. Here in this Symplast system, water is absorbed by the roots and it is moves through the cells. It is by crossing the cell walls and through the plasmodesmata it enters. But when it reaches to the endodermis, in the case of Symplast also, when it reaches to the endodermis, it is suberinized cells are there. Suberinized, total endodermis is impervious to water, but some cells are there, non-suberinized cells. So here they are called passage cells. Some non-suberinized means these walls are very thick. So these walls are very thick, they won't allow the water. This endoderms won't, all the cells they won't allow the water, but some cells are without suberin is there, they are called as passage cells, they allow the water. So from this, water enters through this passage cells, and from this it reaches to the again pericycle region. From this pericycle, so water again moves from the intercellular spaces, again water moves the apoplast, and but at the place of endodermis only Symplast type of water moves through the Symplast only, not apoplast. So here again it reaches to the phloem, again it reaches from the adjacent cell walls, and finally the water reaches to the xylem, and from that xylem it is going to be transported. So here water movement in the plants, how the water is absorbed by the roots, and it is transported by the apoplast system or Symplast system. Apoplast means water does not cross the cell wall. It moves through the intercellular spaces only. In this case, water is not moving the cells, it is not entering inside the cell, only whatever the gap is there between the cell walls, through that cell walls only, that gap, in that gap only water travels, and up to endodermis water moves by the Symplast and apoplast. But whereas in the case of endodermis only Symplast, because water has to cross the cell wall. Here water has to enter from the passage cells. Okay, next in the phloem it is again apoplast and Symplast. So again in the pericycle also apoplast, Symplast, finally it reaches to the xylem vessels. So water transportation pathways are two types, that is apoplast and Symplast. When compared to both, apoplast is transportation of water is fast, it is somewhat slow process, it is slow compared to this. Apoplast, you have to remember adjacent cell walls, through the adjacent cell wall, it is through the cell. Symplast is through the cell, water is moving from the cell, and it is so like that in the plants water is absorbed by the two pathways, it is apoplast and symplast. So they are water, now water is absorbed by the whether it is a symplast or apoplast, it is reached into the xylem, but from the xylem how it is going to be transported. So that is the next step of water transportation, that is ascent of sap. Transportation of water or translocation of water through the xylem vessels is known as ascent of sap. Transportation of water. Transportation of water. Transportation of water through xylem vessels for long distance. Long distance or throughout the plant, that is called ascent of sap. Ascent of sap. So water, how it is going to be moved. So in this apoplast or symplast, water is reached up to xylem, but from the xylem how it is going to be transported throughout the plant, whether water is going to be pushed or pulled, whether water is going to be pushed, whether roots are they going to push the water to upwards or it is pulled, water is going to be pulled, that we are going to be discussed. What is ascent of sap? So the movement of water through the xylem vessels for a long distance or throughout the plant. So upwards, distance or upwards, movement of water upwards, vessels to upwards. How the in plants we discussed that roots they absorb the water, and so how the water is going to be transported. Now roots absorbed by the apoplast or symplast, they absorb, and now water is there in the xylem vessels. So how it is going to be transported throughout the plant, that is called ascent of sap. Now the transportation of water through the xylem vessels to the upwards is called ascent of sap. For the ascent of sap, so there are some forces are required. So they are known as ascent of sap takes place, means water transported. Water is going to be transported. One is by the process of root pressure. Root pressure. Okay, root pressure. So what is root pressures? We discussed that all the roots they absorb the water. All the roots they absorb the water. So when the transpiration is low, when the transpiration is low, what is transpiration? Evaporation of water through the stomata. Transpiration is low and water absorption is more. So here water loss is not there, but water is more absorbed by the plants. Okay, water is more absorbed by the plants. So all the water absorbed by the root hairs, so there is a vast number of roots are present in the plants. So all they absorb the water and they push it into the xylem. Okay, they push it into the xylem. So the pressure created by entered water, the entering water in the xylem, it creates the pressure. That pressure, positive pressure, is known as root pressure. So what is that? So the entered water, the absorbed water by the roots create a positive pressure. Water absorbed that creates the positive pressure, that is called root pressure. So here the condition we said that the transpiration is low. When transpiration low, there is no water is not going outside, only water is transpiration is losing of water through the stomata. That process is minimized, and more water absorption. At that time, all the roots, they send the water. All roots send water inside the xylem. They send water to the xylem, and inside xylem there is a positive pressure. All they are. If we imagine that there is a when the cinema halls, they close the cinema, end of the cinema, all they are entered from, if they want to enter that only one way, so there is a pressure is created. So if they want to pressure, so here in roots are, so many roots are there, they are absorbing water, but that water is entered in the only xylem vessel. So this entered water, it create a pressure. That pressure helps to push the water. So these roots, they are pushing the water. So that pressure is called root pressure. So this pressure is the pressure which is created by the roots, that is called root pressure. It is a positive water. It is a positive pressure. This helps in the small bushes and herbaceous plants to push the water. So in the small plants, water is going to be, by the root pressure, water is going to be absorbed. But in case of tall plants, in the small plants, in herbaceous plants, in grass plants, this root pressure is sufficient to push the water. But when we talk of tall plants, very tall plants, this water is not going to be pushed, it is going to be pulled. That is called transpiration pull is created. So transpiration pull is created. By that force, water is going to be pulled to the upwards. In small herbaceous plant, what we are discussing in the root pressure. So how water is transported, how the water is going to be transported, how it reaches to the topmost parts, upwards, how it reaches the all branches. So in that one we are discussing the root pressure. So root pressure, by the absorption of water, roots, they are creating that water creates a pressure which helps to push the water only for some heights, in the herbaceous plants, not in the tall plants. When we talk of tall plants, there is a transpiration pull is created. Transpiration pull is created. Transpiration pull. So this helps for the taking the water to upwards. For that, there is a in between water and water, in between the water molecule and water molecule. So there is some physical properties between the water and water. One is cohesion. Cohesion means attraction between the same molecules. Attraction or affinity. Attraction or affinity between similar molecule. For example, water and water. So they are attracted. One water molecule will attract the another molecule. So if any corner of the table, if water is falling against to the opposite direction, by putting with the finger, if you create a way, the water will move to that side. So that is called attraction between the same molecule. So here we are talking of how the water is transported. So there are some properties, physical properties are there to water. So one is cohesion property. Cohesion means attraction between the or affinity between the similar molecules. And adhesion. Adhesion means so attraction between the different molecules. Here the definition is same. There is similar molecule, here the different molecule. So that is the between water and lignin. Water and lignin. Here we know that the xylem vessels, all the water, this water enters into the xylem. Xylem is made up of with so many xylem vessels, not only single. So many xylem vessels are there in xylem. So tube-like structures, vessels means tube-like structures are there. So these tubes are made up of with lignin. So these xylem tubes are made up of with lignin. Okay, xylem tubes are made up of with lignin. So our water molecule will have affinity to this non-similar molecule. Attraction between the non-similar molecule is called addition. So water will have the both the properties, cohesion and addition properties. So with that, when any water molecules enters into the xylem vessels, ultimately what it will do, it will have the addition, cohesion addition property, means it attached to the lignin. Ultimately when it attached to the water molecule, when it attached to the lignin, so in xylem vessels what is happening, when water enters, so ultimately water will attach to the wall of this lignin. Ultimately another property of water is what? Cohesion property. So it will attract another water molecule. So like that, it is again toward the tube is made up of with lignin. Again this molecule moves here. So water like that, affinity towards different molecules is called lignin. So here the two forces are there, cohesion and addition properties. So attraction between the similar molecule is cohesion property, and addition is attraction between the dissimilar molecule, that is attraction between water and lignin. So both these properties help the water to maintain the continuous column of water in the xylem vessels. What I am saying? Continuous column of water, continuous column of water. If for example any tube is there, water is there, inside the tube water is there, this we call it as a water column. Water column is inside the tube. What I am saying that, so continuous water column is maintained in the xylem vessels. So one more property is capillarity of vessels. Capillarity of vessels means they are very thin vessels. So water will rise up more height. So if you want to, for example you are drinking a that is cool drink. If you take the thin walled straw, it is easy to suck quickly when compared to the large straw. So thin walled. So here the capillarity is more, it will be. So when diameter is decreased, ultimately the tube diameter is decreased, so capillarity increased. Here the column will be raised, water cool drink reaches up to here, but whereas in this, in case up to here only. So we will suck the, if you want to create the continuous column, you will create the force by sucking. You will suck the water and you will create the continuous force. At the like that you will drink. So here the capillarity means, if our xylem vessels will have the very small tubes, due to the capillarity there is a rising of water in the xylem vessels. So here our water, whatever the water is absorbed by the roots, that has to reach to the xylem vessels. So one is water properties is addition, cohesion and capillarity of the vessels, And next is transpiration pull is created, then only the water is going to be absorbed, moved to the upwards. What is that? We will see. So what is transpiration? Evaporation of water through the stomata. Transpiration is evaporation of water. Transpiration, evaporation of water, evaporation of water through the stomata. This stomata is present in the leaves. So here leaf, what will do? Leaf will have the minute pores. They are known as stomata. So from that stomata, water vapors are going to be lost. Water vapors. So that is called transpiration. So here what is happening? Continuous water column is created by in the xylem vessels due to cohesion, addition and because of capillarity of that is xylem vessels. Here the water reaches to the up to this midrib it consists the xylem vessels are there. So xylem vessels, and what they will do in leaf, upper epidermis, here the lower epidermis, this is our stomata. So here the different type of palisade tissues, phloem and xylem vessels are here. Above the stomata there is a gap is present. Gap is known as air chamber. So this is our palisade and spongy parenchyma. Mesophyll tissues. Here xylem and phloem, this is here, these are the xylem vessels are there. So here water through the roots, water is continuous water column is created. So water, now the water is in this place, it is reached up to xylem vessels. So when water is reached to the xylem vessels, so ultimately these are the mesophyll cells. They have the very thin wall, and so when the more temperature is there, ultimately here the more temperature is created, this water will evaporate. This water will comes outside due to high temperature. Whatever the water is there, this comes outside, and this water is evaporated due to high temperature. High temperature water is going to be evaporated from the stomata. So when water is evaporated, ultimately here the diffusion pressure deficient is going to be decreased. So when here the what do in this, from this mesophyll cells, again the water is going to be transported into this chamber, air chamber. Again these mesophills absorb from the neighboring cells. Like that they absorb the water from the next cells. So from the next like that they are going to absorb. So here the tension is created. So tension is created by what pressure? Due to transpiration. So that tension is reached up to the xylem vessels. Here what is happening? So ultimately these are the pores. Stomata is open. So this is opened, and during the daytime it is going to be opened. So when it is open, ultimately when temperature is high, it lost the water. When it lost the water, this diffusion pressure deficient is going to be diffused. Osmotic mesophyll cells osmotic pressure is increased and diffusion pressure deficient is decreased. So they will absorb the water from the neighboring cells. Like that, they absorb the water from the next neighboring cells. So like that, a tension is created in the xylem vessels. So xylem vessels, that tension, this midrib, this tension is created to the next cells. Like that, water is here, water is losing. So already water properties are there. So due to attraction between the similar molecule, cohesion properties, they attract the, simply diffusion pressure is decreased. So ultimately they take the water, and that water is they are taking from the xylem. Again xylem pull the water from the next molecule. Like that, tension is created towards the downwards. Downward tension is created. So that tension which is created by the transpiration, that is called transpiration pull. So like that, the tension is reached up to the xylem vessels, and it reached to the roots, up to roots, and that property, the tension pull the water towards the upside. So water is going to be pulled upside. So this is called transpiration pull. So in this transpiration pull, what is happening? So continuously, due to the evaporation process, transpiration process, the mesophyll cells are losing the water. So diffusion pressure is decreased. So they are taking the water from the xylem vessels, and ultimately xylem vessels is taking from the another vessels. So water, like that, the tension, downward tension is created up to the roots. Ultimately water, what will we do? Water is going to be upwards. So by the root pressure and transpiration pull, so water is going to be moved to the upwards. That is our ascent of sap, transportation of water. So this is about how the water is going to be transported. So water is in the small plants, due to root pressure, that is enough to push the water. But in case of tall plants, along with the root pressure, there is another force is required, that is transpiration pull is created. So with that, a suction pressure is created. So these mesophyll cells, they suck the water from the another neighboring cells. So like that, a suction force is created. So the suction force which is created by the transpiration, that is known as transpiration. So with the suction force, transpiration pull is created, then the water is going to be absorbed in the tall plants. So this is about ascent of sap. So water moves into the upwards direction into the through the xylem because of cohesion property, addition property of the water, and along with that there is a transpiration pull is created. Cohesion, addition, tension, transpiration pull, cohesion, addition, transpiration pull is created, that helps the transportation of water. Thank you.